Today, I'm going to show you the tools I've bought recently. I used to buy and sell tools as a hobby. I still have a lot laying around that I need to sell, but now I don't have time to do the selling. I still like hunting for tool deals, but I have to be pretty selective about what I buy, or I would be up to my neck in tools. So now, I basically have 3 rules for buying tools. It has to be something I can use, or something I can use for this YouTube channel, or something that's just so interesting I'm willing to make space for it until I get around to selling tools again, if I ever do. First up is this torque wrench. It has the wrong box. This is a Napa branded torque wrench made in the USA. This was made by Apex Tools, so the same company that made very similar torque wrenches sold under brands like Armstrong and KD, as well as probably some others I'm forgetting about. It's a flex head torque wrench. I paid $35 for it. I checked it with my torque adapter, and it's a little bit on the low side. I think someone had stored it not on the lowest setting like they were supposed to, and the spring has lost a little bit of its tension. I may try adjusting it myself, or I might just use it as is. Next up, a few TrueCraft ratchets. TrueCraft is an interesting company. They are now out of business, but you can still find tons of new old stock on places like eBay. These are all new old stock, so they're in basically new condition. And TrueCraft sourced tools from all kinds of different companies, mainly high quality Japanese and American companies. So all 3 of these are made in Japan. I believe they were all made by a company called SEK, and I paid about 20 bucks total for all 3 of these. A lot of you probably saw these already in another video of mine. These are Stallvilla combination wrenches. I got them on the German Amazon site because they were so much cheaper than the US Amazon site. There are some things I like about these a lot, and there are some ways that I think they could be improved. Normally, I would not keep tools in Ziploc bags, but I actually did this so that I could keep track of how much I paid for them by writing the prices on the bags. I paid $5 for all this stuff. This is a tubing bender. It's not a fancy one, just a no-name made in China one. But I do not have a tubing bender, and I have some projects coming up I think I could use one for. This is a no-name Torx driver, but it's a size I needed for something. I needed a Torx screwdriver for a project that my normal Torx bits wouldn't work for, so I picked that up. This is a Fuller made in Japan wrench by a company made by KTC and then rebranded as Fuller. Nothing super special, but I have something in mind for it in the future. This is a very nice Proto brand extension, so an industrial USA made brand. If you're looking at extensions, a couple things to keep in mind. Number 1, is the retention ball still intact, and is it working? I've bought extensions or ratchets before, then got home and realized, oops, a socket will not stay on the end. Another thing to check when you're looking at used ones, has the drive end been all hollowed out by someone using it on an impact? This one is in really nice shape. And the third thing I always check on extensions, did someone hit it with a hammer to use it as a punch? There have been a couple that I've bought, and when I got home, the drive end was just totally mangled, 1 or 2 to the point where I couldn't even put a ratchet in them anymore. So those are 3 things to check if you're looking at a used extension. I paid $6 total for these. This is a classic USA-made Craftsman combination wrench. Nothing special, we're all familiar with these. But I bought this for an upcoming video to compare this and some other wrenches to those Stallvilla wrenches I bought. And this 1/4-inch drive, USA-made Craftsman ratchet. You know, again, nothing too special here, but it was only $3. It's in nice shape. I can use it. I bought these USA-made Bondhus Torx keys on Amazon. I forget the exact price, but they're really affordable. So far, I like them. They may not be up to one of the fine German brands, but they're made in the USA, they work great, and they're a good price. Here's a couple things I picked up on a recent out-of-town trip where I stopped at a pawn shop. This is a Husky brand ratchet. If you are a ratchet nerd like me, you know that this is basically a rebranded gear wrench. There are some differences. It has a quick release here, but it's made by Apex Tools, the same brand that makes gear wrench and a bunch of other brands. You can see rust here, but that's just rust on the finish, I think from another tool that got rusty, so that should clean up pretty nicely. And I paid $5 for this. I paid a lot more for this than I normally would for a 1/4-inch drive ratchet. This is a Cornwell TR3 made in the USA, and I paid $12 for it. The reason I was willing to spend that much is it's so rare for me to find Cornwell tools. This is in really nice shape and it works great, so I dropped 12 bucks on it. I paid $4.50 for all this stuff. What is this? Oh, vintage Wright brand extension. Ugly, but I paid almost nothing for it, and it's just interesting to see vintage tools from a brand like Wright that's not known by that many people but makes really high quality stuff. A big fat SK 14mm bit socket. I don't know if I'll ever use that, but if I ever need it, I've got one. A couple USA-made Craftsman 1/4-inch drive extensions. Nothing special, but they were cheap. Usually I would not buy an individual combination wrench unless I have a purpose for it, but these Craftsman fully polished stubby wrenches are just so interesting. I picked this one up and I probably only paid $1 for it. A pair of ugly but very usable Klein wire cutters. This is a tool where whenever I'm working on electrical projects, I can never seem to find my wire cutters, even though I probably have, 5 different pairs. So now I have 6 pairs. These were a really good score. I went to a pawn shop and dug these out of one of their tool bins. This is an older SK Wayne 1/4-inch ratchet, and I paid $1 for it. It's a little beat up, but it works great. And here I have a 1/4-inch drive Duralast brand extension. I paid $1 for it, made in Taiwan. Good quality extension, and I can always use more extensions. Another Klein tool here, this pair of wire strippers. I think I paid $2 or $3 for this. A little dirty, a little bit old, but very functional. And this is another tool where when I'm working on electrical projects, I can never find my wire strippers. Now, a couple new things I bought. These are 2 very small bearing and gear pullers. I use this to pull a bearing on the Metabo grinder teardown. These are tools that I might not use that often, but when you need to remove a teeny tiny bearing that's pressed tight, there's not really a better way to do it without destroying it. Here's something that's not tool related, but I've been really happy with this purchase. This is an automotive clip assortment. I have various baggies of these little automotive clips around, but I can never find the one I need. So I got this one off Amazon. It was like 12 or 14 bucks or something, and I've already used it multiple times to replace missing or broken clips on our vehicles, on like the underbody panels when I'm changing the oil or something like that. So this video was a little bit quick and dirty compared to some of my others. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it because I didn't know if you guys would like it. So let me know in the comments below. Should I do more videos like this, or should I stick to some other things I've been doing on this channel? I had an idea of maybe doing a video where I show where I buy tools, how I get deals at pawn shops, but again, I want to know if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff. So leave a comment below, hit that like button down there, and guys, please subscribe to the channel. With YouTube's new policies, it really does matter that people who like a channel hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.